All right, so we have made it to the latter half of the episode, and this is like a supersize episode, guys. So we now see the ladies, all of them, getting either ready for Heather's New Year, New Me luncheon. Either they're getting ready, or we see them in their outfits in the car on the way. So we finally meet the new housewife, Katie Ginella, and we get to see her backstory. And she has a good backstory. So she was moving to the OC area, or she was looking for a new house, and she is a friend of Sutton. And of course, Sutton is on Beverly Hills. And if you're a friend of Sutton, that's like a really good reference. Now, I don't think, she's making 300K a month. However, I think Katie, so far of what we've seen of her, she's very well put together, and she will read you if she has to. She's well spoken. I like her fashion, and I like her overall from what we've seen. So, go Katie. And we meet Katie via Gina, and the connection with Sutton is because Katie was looking for a house. Gina's now a new realtor in the OC area, and Sutton connected new girl Katie to Gina. And Gina, of course, is so ecstatic because Gina's like, Katie is my friend, and I guess both of them are 39. So on the cast, I believe they are two of the youngest on the show at the moment. So good for them. It's always nice to see young housewives, but like not too young. You know what I mean? Like I still want you to have some decades of stories and life experiences and whatnot. So, anyways, we meet Gina, not Gina, we meet Katie via Gina, and we get a little bit of her backstory. And then we see Alexis in the car with Emily. These two are on the way to Heather's luncheon together. Emily picks up Alexis. She's in this Barbie pink outfit. Okay. And then Alexis is like, I had a sleepover at Johnny J's. And Emily's like, what do you mean you had a sleepover? You guys like, went to Pound Town, a couple times? What do you mean? And Alexis was just like, yeah, like, I'm a little tired. Like, yeah, we had a sleepover. We did it like 4 times or whatever. My God, this woman is so gross and so tacky. We don't need a Larsa, okay? What is it? And also, what is it with 4 times with these women? Why do you need to do it 4 times a night? Like, I, I'm out of words, guys. I don't even have words. I have no words coming out. Like, it's just so disgusting and so tacky and so gross. Why she feels the need to tell us that, I have no idea. Again, John Janssen, Johnny J is not the prize. Please get it through. But whatever, it's a little too late for Alexis. And then we see Shannon in the car with her makeup artist. I died. I was like, "Oh my God, this is so hilarious." The way Shannon was sitting in the black car, you would think she is on her way to the Met Gala in some sort of big poofy dress. Um, if you guys see some of the people on the way to the Met Gala, they're usually in like sprinter vans, and then they're like standing up, or they're sitting in a weird way because their dress is like so big and so poofy. The way Shannon was like this um in the car, just so she wouldn't like get wrinkles on her dress. This is the Shannon show. She is just naturally hilarious. And yes, her DUI and all that stuff she's taking accountability for, but it's not just that she's taking accountability. She's also funny, which makes her, quite relatable and likable. All right, so we finally get to the luncheon, and this is where new girl Katie comes to face with Heather. And according to Katie, she has apparently met Heather before. However, this is the first time she's met Heather where Heather said hello back. Now, this unfortunately is a theme on Real Housewives of OC. A lot of the new girls, they come for Heather, maybe rightfully so. I don't know, but it is a theme. Um, and then in the trailer, we know this season, she seems to be getting along with most of the women, with the exception of Heather. I don't know if she's doing it like, oh, I'm going to come in and like, it'll be me versus Heather, and then I'll make a name for myself on the show. Or maybe this is kind of like a natural, not so great situation between Katie and Heather. But we shall see. They have their fake off, which I think is hilarious. Now, before I get into the, Shannon entering the scene and all that good stuff, I do want to give a shout out to Gina for not being a messy bee. Earlier, I did mention how, now that Gina is a realtor, she put in a good word for Jen Pedantry. And that's how Jen is, at this stage of filming, able to rent the place she's living in. However, it's not a good look on Jen Pedantry now, or it's not a good look on Gina, because she went to bat for Jen Pedantry. However, now she's not paying rent. And Gina, she very well could have brought this up to the other ladies. She very well could have made a whole scene about this at Heather's luncheon. However, Gina has kept it cute. She's keeping it classy, and she's not making a big deal. And I guess, I don't know, maybe she'll have a private conversation with Jen Pedantry about it. So Gina, in previous seasons, I haven't really liked her. I find that she screeches a lot. Her hair extensions and eyelashes are all over the place. But Gina honestly is like moving forward in her life in a positive way. And anytime we see these housewives making changes for the better, whether we like them or not, it doesn't matter. We should cheer them on because it's the right thing to do. So I'm glad Gina is keeping it cute and moving along. Now, I just found it hilarious when Gina was talking about all the different stations at Heather's party. Because, like, let's be real, Heather, she has a ton of stations. It's almost like the way that Heather has planned these parties, it's almost like a kid's birthday party. When you see kids' birthday parties, there's like all these stations. You could like get your face painted. In this case, Heather has a tarot card reader, and then there's like instructions. Oh, you got to put your name in. You got to like enter this. You can win the raffle. You could do this. You could win a gift card to here. I don't know. She has like a bunch of stations for these women, as if they are not women in their 40s and 50s, but they are like toddlers. It's before their nap time, and they need something interesting to do. So I don't know, Heather, last season Emily called her out for all the branding, and then this season Heather took out all the HD branding to appease these women. Heather girl, you do what you want to do for your parties. You are forking the bill. Put Heather Dubrow in like the biggest sign you can. It's your party. Don't listen to the haters, Heather. All right, so get ready for the main event. Shannon is the last one to join the party. All the ladies, including Alexis, are already there, and also including the new girl, Katie. Shannon is the last one. And we see Shannon looking so good. She gets out of the car. She, of course, entered the party, or she came into the party with her makeup artist. They both look good. Shannon looks, tight and fit in her dress. Her face is facing. Her hair is just giving, and she looks amazing. Now, obviously, when Shannon enters the party, it's like awkward, and it's like the elephant in the room, right? Good for Shannon. She makes a beeline to Gina, and right off the bat, she is humble. She apologizes to Gina. And at this point, like, what's Gina gonna say? Like, there's no room for Gina to shit talk Shannon, because right off the bat, she's, taken ownership and all the things she said about Gina in the past couple seasons regarding like CPS and all that stuff when Gina had her DUI. Shannon's humbled. She's, taken it back. She's apologized, and good for Gina. She could have been an a-hole about it and not accept Shannon's apology. But Gina girl, I see you. You were empathetic. You were kind. You were, providing encouraging words to Shannon, unlike Tamra over there, making digs at Shannon. I really think this was a great episode for Gina. Now, the whole housing situation between her and Travis, I don't quite understand it. However, she seems like she's doing well in life and she's trying to make good decisions. Also, just being empathetic when it comes to Shannon. So I really enjoyed this scene between Gina and Shannon. Now, of course, we're going to get into the big blowout between Alexis and Shannon, which was hilarious. All right, so after Shannon deals with Gina, humbly apologizes, all that good stuff, she moves on to Alexis. And Shannon, from earlier in the episode, Shannon was, very gung ho, like, hey, if I see Alexis, I'm just going to deal with it. Like, it is what it is. Also, side note, if there is someone who does not want to film with another housewife or another cast member, another individual, it is Shannon Storms Beador. Meanwhile, the ladies over in New Jersey are throwing fits over filming with one another. That's all. That's all I have to say. Good for Shannon. She's taking the high road. She's filming with Alexis. She is owning up to everything. And yeah, so after dealing with Gina, the room obviously, watches Shannon, watches Alexis. They're in different sides. Alexis, we see, is talking, I think, to like Heather and like some of the other girls. She's engrossed in conversation with like a group of women here. Shannon walks up to her. When someone doesn't make eye contact with you, you know they're in the wrong. They know they're in the wrong. Alexis obviously can see Shannon in her like vision. I'm not even going to say peripheral vision. Like Shannon is right in front of Alexis at this point because Shannon's trying to get her attention. And then after maybe like 2 seconds, Alexis finally looks over at Shannon because Shannon's like, hey, can we talk? Can we go over there? Chat, whatever. And then, Alexis finally acknowledges Shannon and she's like, okay, yeah, let's, whatever, go. And obviously the entire room is watching. And this was hilarious. And before we get to these ladies, we get a clip from Gina's confessional, which I thought she was right on. Gina's commentary, I absolutely loved it because she's like, these ladies are over there scrapping. Meanwhile, no one's saying anything to John Janssen or about John Janssen. It's like, why the heck are these ladies scrapping over John Janssen? Ew, he is not the prize. All right, let's get into the meat of their discussion. And before they, start the discussion, I just thought it was so funny how Shannon's like dragging this table along just so they could like get to the shade. And then Alexis kind of helps her out a little bit. And guys, this is why women, we still have so much to do in, progressing in the patriarchy. It's like we take one step forward, with them working together, trying to move the table, but obviously 2 steps back given the, discussion they get into. And I forget the line, but Shannon or Alexis was basically like, oh, I don't want to have a long conversation with you. And Shannon's like, oh, this won't be. Anyways, so they finally start talking. And Shannon is bringing up the fact that she is pissed off at Alexis regarding the Jim Bellino lawsuit where she lost about $300K, which, let's be real, $300K, that is a lot of money. And for context, at that time, she was going through her divorce, and I guess she was just like losing cash, burning cash like crazy. So then for Jim Bellino to have that lawsuit against her, the timing of it was awful. And Shannon's whole thing is you, Alexis, might not have been, part of the lawsuit, but your cease and desist that was sent to her and Tamra kind of like started the domino effect of the lawsuit. And Alexis is like, well, I'm not looking to be your bestie. This is uncomfortable. You're the ex. I'm the new. I wonder how many times like Alexis practiced these rehearsed lines with her makeup artist or hairstylist or whoever. And I don't know, guys, like it is weird of Shannon to come out and talk about the legal drama between Alexis's ex-husband and Shannon. But the way Alexis handled the conversation was so tacky. She went right into bringing up John Janssen. You're the ex, I'm the new, and you're gonna be the next, Alexis. The way things go with John Janssen, give it a couple months, maybe even a couple years, who knows. Alexis could have, handled it in a more mature way. Like, hey, the court's already handled it. I don't want to have this discussion with you. She could have been classy about it, but she's not. She's not. She's tacky in this Barbie pink outfit, thinking like she's making some sort of big splash, but she's not. And obviously, she goes right into the conversation about John Janssen. Anyways, Alexis is like, I was not part of it. My name is not part of this lawsuit. My name has nothing to do with it. And Shannon's like, your name was on the cease and desist. Guys, I so badly am rooting for Shannon to go into the vault and find that piece of paper that does have Alexis's name on the cease and desist. Like, let's be real. We want to see this Shannon redemption play out just because Alexis is being so tacky. If Alexis handled herself better, I think more people would have, been on Team Alexis. But the way she's handling herself, it's just not cute. Anyways, at the end of it, this is how we see it play. So the discussion between these two obviously get heated, and Alexis just couldn't wait to talk about John Janssen. And we see her rehearsed line: "If you don't like it, there's the door, Shannon Beador." Real smart. Okay, I get it that Alexis probably has this rehearsed line. However, context is king. You are literally outside. Like, look, there's no doors and windows. You are literally outside. So telling Shannon to GTFO or to get out and, like, there's the door, Shannon door. My God. This was hilarious to watch. Alexis, you are just looking ridiculous. And then Alexis, after telling Shannon, there's the door, Alexis herself walks away. And Shannon's like, oh, I thank you for taking him from me, Alexis. Alexis is like, and I'm thankful that he left you. And then, Shannon ends with, perfect, which to me was hilarious. Anyways, Alexis girl, this was just a bad look. Shannon obviously won the whole debacle. Meanwhile, we got to take a look at the women. What was going on the inside? Now, we can't not talk about this scene where, Alexis and Shannon are outside, where Alexis is saying her rehearsed reads to Shannon. And then we got the rest of the ladies on the inside. And Emily had her, iconic line where she's like, I speak English, Spanish, and lips. Because, they're trying to, obviously, since Alexis and Shannon are outside, the ladies can't really hear them. So they're trying to like figure out what they're saying by reading their lips. And this is also when Tamra meets the new girl, Katie. And Tamra's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. It was just like so funny with like all the drama that's happening. And Katie at one point had a pretty good line. She said something like, oh, this is like the NFL of Housewives or something like that, which I thought was hilarious. And then, we got Emily. Emily was just comedic relief throughout the whole thing. She was hilarious. I don't even know what her storyline is. I think her storyline is like losing weight and like picking a fight with Heather. So that should be interesting. All right, before I wrap up this very long recap, but then again, this was a super episode for the premiere of Real Housewives of Orange County, I have a couple final thoughts. I don't like the jabs some of these women are taking against Shannon when it comes to her drinking, calling her a drunk, putting her down when she's at her lowest. Um, it seems like some of the women reached out, maybe some of them didn't. While Shannon was down, she took the time to, I don't know what Shannon did during her downtime, but the ladies probably thought she would attend Heather's event looking all haggard. No, Shannon walked in looking like $1,000,000 and making positive changes in her life as she should. She downsized, to a home that makes more sense for her. She's trying to take accountability in her own life with the people around her, trying to deal with things head on. So good for Shannon. And these other women just hating on her and, calling her drunk and stuff. That's awful. We see you. All right, Emily. I noticed Emily uses her husband as a punchline in a lot of her episodes. It's funny once in a while, but at sometimes I find it a little cringe. Like, do you not respect your husband? Like, I don't know. It's a little weird. Side note, how cold is it in the OC? My understanding is what they were filming in like November-ish, December-ish. I don't know. My understanding is like I live like further north. I don't really know how cold it gets in the OC. So seeing Tamra in that puffer, I was like, how cold is it? My last and final thought about the show, and really a lot about what we see on Real Housewives across all the franchises, all the seasons. This has been on our screens. Ladies, have your own coin. It doesn't matter if you went to school for something or you get your license and certification for something. Have your own coin. Even if your man, makes a gazillion, bucks each year, each quarter, or whatever, and, he can fund your lifestyle. Have your own coin, okay? You don't want to be asking for a man to pay for bills. You don't want to be having to, you as an adult go to your much older parents later on in life and ask them for money. It's not a good look. Set up your own financial future. If you haven't already, do it now. I cannot stress that enough. And when people say, oh, why do you watch this show? Yeah, of course, obviously watching Housewives, it's highly entertaining. But not only that, I feel like even as a, young woman watching this show since I was a kid myself, I have learned a lot of life, not life skills, but like life lessons from watching these women, what to do in Heather's case and what not to do, seeing, some of the other one. Anyways, guys, that's my recap on the first episode of this season of Real Housewives of Orange County. I don't know if all of my other recaps are going to be this long, but hey, this was a supersized episode that Bravo treated us with. This was the 100th season of Real Housewives. And, it started it in the gated community of Orange County. And here we are 100 seasons later. If you guys haven't subscribed, do so. I cover Housewives, Bravo Labs, some good pop culture tea. And with that said, I will catch you all later.